Well, good evening and welcome to what are we called?
Love Not Fear.
Love Not... It's been one of those days.
We're doing a radio show called Love Not Fear, Jack.
I'm a Solstice special, and I'm here with my very special co-host, Annie Day, from
Thank you.
Heaven Sent Bliss and author of Orgasmic Health. What you got in your head?
I'm very festive because, as we know, this
It's
is the
the
eve of the solstice, indeed. So I thought I needed to wear my fairy crown, and as I've got two and couldn't make my mind up which one was the best, I put both on, especially for you.
I feel underdressed now, Annie.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have warned you. That's what I was going to wear. I'll make you a nice ivy crown for tomorrow.
It's too late. I'm going up now. We're going up to Glastonbury Tor in about an hour.
Are you?
Lucky me.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. I'm very envious. Very envious.
Yeah, and I've got a very special little ceremony that I've devised I'm going to be doing when I get up there.
Perfect. I'm doing mine at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning at Brockton Ancient Oak Forest.
Where's that?
Oh, Brockton.
For the sake of the people here that don't know where Brockton is.
Okay, so Brockton is part of Cannock Chase, basically, but there is an ancient oak forest there, and I'm very fond of going playing with the trees there. So I've chosen to go up about 4:45 tomorrow morning, just as the sun comes up. So that's what I'm going to do, because I've got a busy day working. So if I don't do it tomorrow morning, I won't get it done, really.
Yeah, well, I won't get it done. If I go to bed, that's it. There's no chance. I've got to go up tonight, or it's not going to happen. I know what I'm like.
And the tour is a good way up, darling.
It is. I've been up there a couple of times.
No, a couple of 100 times, I think, probably is more accurate, isn't it, for both of us?
That's a wonderful place with such gorgeous fun.
Oh, beautiful energy, isn't it? Really, really beautiful energy, for sure.
This is the first time I've actually managed to get up for a significant day.
Wonderful.
Last time I was here in Glastonbury, I had to leave the day before Beltane.
Oh.
Yeah, because I only come here when I'm house sitting.
Ah.
So,
you see, because I make all of my products at the Heaven Sent Bliss shop from Chalicewell Garden Water, it gives me a, what shall I say, an excuse or a rationale to pop down to Glastonbury or get one of my lovely friends to bring me some Glastonbury Chalicewell Garden Water, because that's what I make all my products out of. So it gives me a bit of an excuse to go down and pick up some more water.
That is wonderful, wonderful water. I was actually, I was at Chalicewell on my birthday.
Yeah.
On the 14th.
Right.
Drinking the water.
Perfect.
And I actually.
Were you drinking the red spring or the white spring?
No, the red spring, the Chalicewell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all full of iron, and I'm a little bit anemic, so I really need that.
Yeah, ditto. Yeah, same.
And I fell asleep in the sun, on the grass.
As you do.
As you do. I wasn't drunk.
No, it's just so peaceful and calm, Jack, isn't it? It really is a very magical, very special place, isn't it, for sure?
I love it. I love Glastonbury to pieces. I'm not sure I could live here permanently, but I love coming here.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite places on the planet.
Yeah, me too.
And anybody watching, watching later, who's not been, we both highly recommend it. It's the most fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
The heart chakra of the world, a lot of people call it.
Yeah, I've heard that so many times, Jack. And when I'm there, I feel that's the case. I feel that's the case when I'm there. It is just the most beautiful, magical place. And I think there's a book called it's called something like Normal for Glastonbury, about the fact that the veil between the spiritual world and the physical world is so thin that lots of extraordinary manifesting things, magical things happen, that anywhere else in the world, everybody would be going, oh, that's amazing. And we're going, yeah, it's normal for Glastonbury. That's what happens when you're at Glastonbury.
Yeah, there's even a Facebook group called Normal for Glastonbury.
Is there?
Yeah, I'm a member.
Yeah, there must be some magical, extraordinary stories in that, because we both know that there are the most amazing things that happen while you're in Glastonbury. It's just beyond beautiful, isn't it? So
a quick plug, because I run a Facebook group for an organisation here in Glastonbury,
right.
Healing Water Sanctuary. And
wow, okay.
And if any of you get a chance to come up and visit Glastonbury, you must spend some time at the sanctuary there. It's really, really lovely. They do a B&B as well, and I run the Friends of Healing Waters Sanctuary Facebook group.
Oh wow! Thank you for sharing that, Jack.
Yeah,
really useful.
So I'm always putting stuff on there about the various things that are going on around the town, of different events. What's going on at the Goddess House and what's going on.
Oh, perfect.
That's Goddess Conference in a few days, and it's such a marvelous place.
Yeah, without doubt.
And there's a couple of Morris groups here, and I always post what they're doing, and yeah, it's just
that's so lovely.
Yeah, it's just such a lovely place. I love it to pieces. And if you do go, they've actually got a sacred spring there on the land. So I highly recommend it anyway.
Okay, that'll be next visit then. Which hopefully won't be too far away.
So it's the summer solstice. So I just made a few notes.
Okay.
What the summer solstice is all about, for those that don't know. I'm sure everybody knows, but it's my excuse for having a program about it anyway. So, I've just made a few notes. I'm just going to read these out, but I don't want to make it a monologue. If you want to chip in and...
Oh, I'm very good at chipping in, baby, as you know.
Please do. Yeah, the summer solstice is the time of maximum light. It's when the sun's at its zenith in the sky. The longest day, the shortest night. This time is also known as Litha, particularly in America. Do you know the origin of the name Litha, Annie?
No.
After
a goddess, I'm guessing.
I've never really known why the summer solstice is called Litha, but anyway. And Alban Heffen in the Welsh Druid tradition, which means the light of summer.
Yeah. So in some cultures, I know I've got friends in America, but also in Sweden as well, and they consider the summer solstice to be the proper official day of summer. Yeah, which works for me. It works for me.
Absolutely. But it shows how the seasons have changed, because it used to be the midsummer date.
Yeah.
Centuries ago.
Yeah.
But the seasons have shifted. At Alban Heffen, or the summer solstice, the spiral of the year has expanded to its widest point, and now the hours of light are as long as they will ever be.
Yeah.
After the 21st, tomorrow, or sometimes, some years it's the 22nd, the sun's power will begin to wane. Well, it's usually said the sun stands still for 3 days, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it appears to stand still in the sky. It appears to rise and set in the same place for 3 days. The sun has touched the northernmost point along the horizon and is about to embark on the long journey back south, ending at Alban Arthen, the winter solstice. And we need to just say that this is for the northern hemisphere.
Yeah.
In the summer's hemisphere,
absolutely,
everything is reversed.
Yeah.
At the summer solstice, there was a time of tremendous importance to Neolithic peoples, and they built a number of magnificent megaliths aligned to the sunrise on this day.
Yeah.
In
Stonehenge and Woodhenge to start with.
Yeah.
My favourite's Woodhenge, actually. I feel far more resonance with Woodhenge than I do with Stonehenge, but equally, it is a fantastic, beautiful structure honouring the seasons, isn't it?
I love both. I love that area, the whole area around Salisbury.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And Avebury.
The whole area around Salisbury Plain in the southwest of Britain.
Beautiful, isn't it, for sure?
From Salisbury Plain to here, to Glastonbury.
Yeah.
It's just one huge, magical place, magical area. And I just love it, yeah. The official date, I think, of Stonehenge is about 5,000 years, but it might be older, who knows?
Yeah.
With ritual activities throughout the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, and into modern times, and it's still people still gather there on this day and tomorrow every year.
Yeah.
Although for a few years they couldn't get on. We couldn't get on, could we?
They stopped anybody, including the Druidic community, who this is a really important, date for. They stopped that. And then, of course, we've had the scamdemic going on for the last 2 years, so that prevented anything. But I think even before that, they were being quite prescriptive about it and saying they were protecting the stones. Do you know what? It's megalithic and it's made of stone. Hello.
Having said
it's not exactly a fragile, delicate little poppy, is it really? Come on now.
Absolutely no. But looking at it from the other point of view, playing devil's advocate, the reason I don't go to Stonehenge so often for the solstice is because there are a lot of disrespectful people there who leave litter, and that spoils it for everybody. But there you go. You don't get that so much on Glastonbury.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
You get a different class of people in Glastonbury.
Absolutely, darling. So apparently, according to the notes I've made, Tuesday, June the 21st at 5:14 a.m. It marks the beginning of the summer solstice. Yeah. So I'll be there just before it officially starts. So that would be grand. Yeah. I'm thinking of taking my drum and my pipe and my flute, and all will be well.
Lovely. Lovely.
My intentions for the year.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that there'll be lots of people up at Glastonbury and where I'm doing mine.
Yeah.
And
I bet there will be, Jack. I bet there will be, won't there?
There'll be fires and drumming and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that groovy, lovely stuff. Perfect.
And I'll be there with all the others to watch the first rays of the sun. So yeah, it'd be wonderful.
It will, darling.
Another famous stone temple is Calanesh on the island of Lewis. Have you ever been up there? Yeah,
absolutely. My grandfather is from there. No, yes, my paternal grandfather was from Lewis. Yeah. And he was called Harris, just to cause complete confusion. So the Isle of Lewis, but he was called Harris, and there is an Isle of Harris as well. But yeah, I think that his parents obviously had a great sense of humour. Clearly.
Well, I've never made it up to the Hebrides at all, so maybe
not. No. Jack, you'll love it.
Maybe next year.
Road trip, baby.
Road trip coming on. I've got my driving license back.
Have you?
Yeah. So you know.
Well done. Well done. I'm so pleased for you.
Thought I wasn't going to get that back, but they're giving it me back. So there you go.
Perfect. Perfect.
Wouldn't be such a naughty boy, should I?
I don't know. I think it's naughtiness and laughter that makes life worth living, basically. Love, naughtiness, and laughter is definitely part of that joyful vibration. So yeah, anything we do that's naughty and full of love and laughter has got to be good for our souls, I reckon. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Getting back to Callanish, it's so far north that the sun never really sets, never really gets dark.
Oh my God, I don't know if I could cope with that.
Yeah, it's right up in the Hebrides.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
And Brodgar on Orkney, have you been up there?
Have I? No, I don't think so.
Which was known for centuries as the Temple of the Sun.
Well, no.
So on the solstice, people often light fires on beacon hills all over the country.
Yeah.
And Glastonbury, of course, is one of the beacon hills.
Yeah.
There'll definitely be a beacon fire up there.
And that's really magical as well, you know, because we've been doing this for centuries and thousands of years. We've been lighting those fires on those beacon hills. And it's just lovely to be part of that, you know, our ancestral heritage, basically, isn't it? To still be doing the things that we used to do.
It was also a very big thing in Ireland.
Yeah, for sure.
And the High King would light his fire on Tara Hill.
Yeah.
And then all the other beacon hills could see that fire, and they would light theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tara's just such an amazing, magical place in its own right, isn't it? So much goddess energy there. It's just incredible.
There's lots of lovely legends about the place too.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Ireland is replete with lots of stories about fairies and elementals as well. So strangely enough, I resonate with that country particularly.
No, they've got the Irish. It's not really a summer solstice story now. I'm just going to get a little aside. They've got a hero which is equivalent to our King Arthur, haven't they? I'm trying to think of his name. All my Irish friends are cursing me now because I thought it's just his name. Finn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Finn and the Fianna is his army.
Indeed.
They're supposed to be. It's very similar to the King Arthur story, because they're all supposed to be buried at Tara Hill in an undead state, ready to be resurrected whenever Ireland has need of them.
Yeah.
And there are similar stories about Arthur. Some people say that the place Arthur is buried is actually on the Tor.
That wouldn't surprise me. It's got a very sacred, magical energy, hasn't it? For sure. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
I could believe him and his knights are up there, ready to be reawakened when Britain has need of them. It's a lovely story.
Yeah, which might be any minute now.
I think the time has passed. Maybe I'll wake him up tonight.
Well, they're going to wake up and they're going to really help us to keep envisaging our beautiful future and our wonderful earth. And yeah, I'm sure they've been helping us all along through this scamdemic.
No, let's not go down that road tonight.
Really?
At this time of year, young people and not so young, bedecked in garlands of flowers, often dance around the sacred fires or leap over them for good luck.
Got the garland around my head. That's a start. Isn't it?
Yeah. And if the fire's not too big, I'm going to go at jumping over it tonight.
Oh, go for it! Yay! That'd be awesome.
I end up with a singed bum. I end up with a singed bum. The ashes from the fires have very magical powers and are often collected. In some parts of the country, flaming wheels of straw are rolled down hillsides into the rivers or watercourses below.
Yeah, I think in Derbyshire they do that, don't they? Or is it Cheshire? I think I've heard of that before.
Yeah, I think there's several places where they do it.
Mm.
Yeah. Apparently the fires are supposed to go out before they hit the water. It's whether it's going
That'd be handy.
to be lucky or unlucky. I don't know quite how it works. One of the most popular themes around about this time of year is that of the Oak King and the Holly King.
Oh, absolutely.
The Oak King and his brother, the Holly King, they do battle at each solstice for who's going to rule for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And tonight, the Holly King will battle with his brother, and so the Oak King will battle with his brother, the Holly King, and the Holly King will win, only to relinquish his crown once again at the winter solstice.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're lovely old stories.
I love them. I've also got that the summer solstice's spiritual meaning has another layer when you factor in astrology. With Venus, the planet of love and balance, on its way to free-spirited Gemini on June the 22nd, you can expect the start of summer to be nothing short of light-hearted fun. Yay!
Hey, yes.
Jovial energy is amplified by lucky Jupiter as it crosses into gutsy Aries, empowering us to charge through summer with confidence and love. Sounds good to me.
Brilliant. I'm up for that. I'll have a
Yeah,
pint of that. Definitely have a pint of that.
Confidence and love sounds just awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah. Midsummer is the time when we celebrate the bounty of the earth and the sun at its height of power. Our fields are flourishing, fruits and blossoming on the trees, herbs, bushes are fragrant and full of life. The sun has impregnated Mother Earth and made her fertile, and the dance of life is in full swing. Don't say that when you're drunk.
That was a bit of alliteration.
So rejoice and give thanks.
Yeah.
It's definitely a time to rejoice and give thanks.
Oh, without doubt, darling, without doubt. It's what life's all about, isn't it? Rejoice and give thanks.
Give thanks for the new life, for the ducklings and the little baby coots everywhere, little baby hens, and it's just such a magical time of year.
It really is. And I'm very blessed. I indulged myself, I'm going to say, with this beautiful bird hotel that's just woven wood, basically. It's absolutely extraordinary. From a man who's a carpenter out at Wolseley Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it a few weeks ago, and there's so many different species now visiting, which I'm delighted with. But there's a mum and a baby squirrel as well that have started visiting me. And they like crawling in and out of it. The way that it's woven, they're just crawling in and out of it. They're quite happy to feed out of my hand. Mm-hmm. But I tried with one of my patients today, and as soon as they saw her, they were like, oh no, she's scary. So I'm sure that they will get used to other people as well. But it was so magical having the squirrel take nuts out of my hand, basically. So yeah, I'm very blessed. And I have a Mrs. Tiggy Winkle that visits me at night.
Mm-hmm.
We have quite a chat.
What do you talk about?
We talk about how much food I can cram into that bowl for. She's very fond of chicken, but she's also equally fond of the dried hedgehog food as well. But every so often I put a few, what she like as well, mealy worms in as well. So yes, I'm very popular with the wildlife, shall we say.
They're like that. What's happening with your health practice at the moment? I've just had some feedback, by the way.
Go on.
I had a certain lady who you've treated today. I better not mention her name, seeing as she's not on here.
Okay.
She says you're absolutely wonderful.
I know who you mean.
Yeah.
She told me at the time, she went, I feel so much different to when I came in 2 hours ago. And you are just amazing, because I just feel so much better. So
yeah, well, just
our paths were supposed to cross, basically.
Just to say, for those who don't know, Annie practices in Stafford. She has a multi-modality practice. So basically, we covered the details of everything she did about a month ago, a few weeks ago on this show. And it's a long list of things that she does. Highly recommended. If anybody's in need of anything, go and see Annie. Put all your details as usual in the description.
Oh, thank you, Jack. I really appreciate that.
These shows, for those of you who don't know, these shows are recorded on Zoom, but they go on to YouTube afterwards. And all the links that we talk, whatever we talk about on the shows, is in the description on the YouTube version of the video.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so you find out about whoever I'm talking to, Annie or whoever else is on. You'll find out all their details in the description.
Yeah. You are an angel. Absolute angel.
Oh, that's the least I can do, isn't it? What about the People's Health Alliance? Any news on that?
Where's my bit of paper? So in the Health and Harmony group, we started last Tuesday offering that there are some people like myself that work during the day. And there are some people who couldn't get to the Health and Harmony health assessments during the day. So we've started doing 7 till 10 alternate weeks. So last week was the first week. It was so successful. We got brilliant feedback. We did 2 assessments. They're quite complex health assessments. And we offered mini treatments, and then I did the meditation for the last half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. And the feedback we got from people was absolutely extraordinary. So next Tuesday, it will be daytime, 11 till 3. The following Tuesday, we'll be there in the evening, 7 till 10. So there are, you know, we're giving people as many opportunities to access the free health checks, basically. And obviously, we're doing this as volunteers, and we're volunteering our time and the resources. So we're always very grateful for donations as well. But as for the People's Health Alliance, the Power of the Pound, there are now 79 hubs around the country, 2 in air, with many more around the world that will be announced in coming weeks. The Power of the Pound is gathering momentum and is aimed at donating a recurrent monthly £1 from 1 million people. These funds will go towards the setting up of a rapid response unit with rapid response, first responders, paramedic type, advanced first aiders, and first aiders to carry out any emergency. This has become a priority following West Midlands NHS Trust releasing that it will stop answering 999 ambulance calls on the 17th of August this year. At the moment, we are unsure if it's a ploy for more funding or because they just can't do it, but it was and is part of the NHS document released to stop them. They will run from all the hubs as rapid response units. Donations and fundraising at all the hubs around the country are happening almost daily for hub setups. 39 hubs have acquired physical buildings to work from, and 24 are up and running. Plus 19 hubs are utilising individual rooms in shared premises and running as hubs. Many current medical staff are coming over to the People's Health Alliance with increasing daily and looking to stay as medical staff or retrain in natural holistic therapies. So Heaven Sent Bliss is part of the Health and Harmony group. And because I have my own premises, I am called a hublet, which I think is quite cute. So I'm a hublet within Staffordshire Health and Wellbeing Hub as well. So how exciting.
A little hublet. I've got a little hublet on my show.
Hublet. So you've got a hublet on your radio show. So yeah, I think it's quite a cute little word, isn't it? But it just kind of conveys that it's a one-person practice, but it is a physical premises. Whereas where we do our health and harmony group at the moment, which I'm very grateful to Annie for, we're at the county staff's club, and I have to be honest, they're very good to us in letting us have our stand in the park Wednesday meetings there, as well as us being able to use it on a Tuesday day or a Tuesday evening, basically. So I'm very grateful for all the blessings and opportunities that were being given, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's marvelous the way the world seems to be changing so quickly. As the allopathic medicine has let everybody down big time over the last couple of years.
Oh, before that as well.
People are starting to realize now how badly they've been let down and how badly they've been misled.
Yeah, sure.
And more people now are coming over to what we call, not for years we've called alternative medicine, but it's not.
I've never called it that. I've always called it traditional medicine, because actually, you know, and I know, Jack, that traditional medicine is naturopathic medicine. That's what we practice, natural medicine. Then the alternative is what happened 70 years ago, creating the NHS. They're the alternative with their, you know, getting doctors to drug peddle for the pharmaceutical companies. That's not natural medicine. So yeah, I think you're right that increasingly people want natural medicine, but actually it's always annoyed me intensely that we were called alternative. We're not the alternative. We are traditional natural medicine, which we've always practiced for thousands of years all over the planet, basically.
In my book, Love Not Fear, I talk about, again, we did not devise that we were all born into, which goes based on a web of lies, which goes back many, many thousands of years. But just one little microcosm of it that we've become aware of recently. It's just this thing that's been going on for the last 70 years or so in healthcare, and how we're all brought, how easy it is if you're born, anyone who was born in the last 70 years or 80 years, after that, and I'm not going to say whether I'm in or out of that group.
It's just a number. It's no more important than your shoe size.
We've been brought up believing these lies. We've been brought up just believing it's normal. And certainly people, I think, that were born since World War II, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
They've been brought up thinking it's natural, it's normal to go to a doctor and have drugs instead of going to a herbalist or some other natural therapist who can address the actual cause of what's wrong with you instead of just
the doctors currently know absolutely diddly squat about the importance of hydration, which is odd when our beautiful bodies are made up of 80% water. They know nothing about nutrition. The last time I did some training in Stafford for the county hospital, it was 24 third-year registrars, and myself and a colleague who is also a kinesiologist were just going to do 10 minutes on our backstory, and then we were going to talk very briefly about hydration, just ask what their prior learning was. Then Ben was going to talk to them about nutrition, why organic food's so important. I was so shocked when I asked what their prior learning was and what they knew about hydration. They went input and output. I said, so do you know what dehydrates the body? They did not know that coffee, alcohol, tea, anything, well, caffeine's the worst because it demineralizes you as well as dehydrates you. Alcohol, they hadn't got a clue. Now, I think that's really bizarre when if you think about what the human body's made out of, water and our nutrition, and they had no training. When Ben came to do his bit on nutrition, he said, so in your 6 years of training, because these were third years registrars, he said, how much training did you do on nutrition? One doctor had done 6 hours. You couldn't even name all the food groups in 6 hours.
If you want to know how little allopathic medicine understands about nutrition, just look at the food they feed you in hospital.
And hospices, which is even more appalling.
Yeah.
Why would you give sick people shitty water and shitty food? It just beggars belief, doesn't it, Jack? It's crazy, crazy, crazy.
I mean, at least when I was a young man, hospitals used to have their own kitchens.
Yeah.
Now they just go down to McDonald's or whatever it is, don't they?
No, it's horrible food, horrible. I know when I worked at Compton Hospice, that was one of the first shocks to me. First of all, they were giving people tap water when we know that alkaline water, cancer can't survive in an alkaline system. So giving people alkaline water, which would be, you know, filtered water with a slice of lemon in, that's all they needed to do. They were giving them shitty tap water with all those carcinogens in.
Yeah. And
then when the food came round, I can't tell you how appalled I was that they were giving this non-nutritional slop white food that had no colour to it. It had all the goodness boiled out of it. And then they were given like aeroplane type plastic wet. Why aren't we treating people with dignity? It used to drive me crazy. It would drive me crazy.
Well, they ain't getting me back in another hospital.
Well, I've only ever been in hospital once, fortunately. I had peritonitis when I was 11 and my appendix burst. Right. And I've never been in hospital since then. And I haven't been to see my GP since 1998 when he told me that I would never walk again. Wrong, completely wrong. They also told me many moons ago that it was impossible for me to conceive. I have 2 children. So the NHS's track record with me isn't that good, really. I think I am a really wonderful example of what natural health can do for you, because I am disgustingly healthy and vibrant and joyful all the time. And I haven't seen my GP since 1998. And I suspect there is a correlation between those 2 facts.
Well, they want to do all kinds of nasty tests on me, and I'm not having it done.
Good. Dr. Vernon Coleman, that you might have heard of.
Once or twice, yeah.
Yeah. He's one of my all-time favourite doctors. So I bought his book. I think it was 2002 that it was published. And it was How to Stop Your Doctor Killing You.
Yeah. The other old man in a chair.
Oh, he's such mate.
He's a wonderful guy.
He's just wonderful. I love his sense of humour. And I loved it when he was talking about the adverse reactions, and the man's humanity really came through when he was crying about all the people who died. But, you know, most of the time he keeps things really buoyant, doesn't he? And, you know, keeps us hoping that we're not on our own. Light always overcomes darkness. Love always overcomes hate. And the truth always comes out in the end. And it does and is. But yeah, the old man in the chair. But you are not an old man, Jack.
Thank you,
Annie. Saying this.
Thank you.
Cannot be saying this to
I'm in my first flush of youth.
Indeed. Darling, of course.
Annie, I've just had my 70th birthday.
And you just have to reverse the numerals. You're 7. I'm
7.
You're 7.
I tell you what, when I was here in Glastonbury last time,
yeah,
and it could just as easily have happened this time because I feel exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a friend here, and she said to me, "How old are you, Jack?" And I said, I've been there 5 days at the time, 4 days, 5 days. I said, I'm 5 years younger than I was 5 days ago.
I like it.
And I feel the same this trip too. I was on death's door when I left Stafford last week before, whenever it was.
Yeah.
And within hours of arriving here, I had a whole new lease of life.
Oh, I'm sure, darling. Stafford isn't a particularly healthy place because it's my lovely friend Victor Ong told me years ago that there were far more people in Staffordshire with lung problems because it's one of the dampest counties, that there's a dip that Staffordshire is in. And so, you know, there's a lot more asthma, there's a lot more lung conditions, there's a lot more bronchitis, etc., because we live in such a damp area, basically. So he's told me for ages that if I really wanted to be fit and healthy, or fitter and healthier than I am already, then to move to Cheshire or Derbyshire or somewhere.
Yeah.
But as I'm still here, clearly I'm meant to be here.
Well, you're doing something right, Annie, aren't you?
I must be doing something right completely, darling.
This sanctuary I was talking about earlier that I was giving a plug for lies right on the St. Michael ley line.
Wow.
The energies, and I'm just a few doors, well, I'm staying now, it's just a few doors away from there.
Yeah.
And the energies are absolutely wonderful. And it's on the side of the town, Wiriel Hill, you may have heard, some people
Yeah, sure.
have heard of Wiriel Hill. And I was doing some meditating, I don't know, a few weeks ago now. And just spontaneously, I had this past life memory of being on Wiriel Hill and my connections with Wiriel Hill 1100 years ago.
Wow.
So
how luscious is that?
It's not surprising I keep coming back here, is it? It's my home.
No, it's very healing. It is very healing there.
Yeah, I'm dreading going back to Stafford.
Well, there is lovely me here.
There is lovely you there. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm the area of outstanding natural beauty.
That's so modest with it.
My grandfather stopped me doing modest stuff and just said it shows a complete lack of self-confidence being modest. You just have to proclaim it loudly, because this is what my grandfather told me, that if you don't blow your own trumpet, nobody else will. So you have to feel really confident about who you are, what you are, and then everybody else will follow suit. So it seems to have got me this far. So
yeah, that's wonderful. So what's your, if there's just one thing, if you had to just say one thing that keeps you so bubbly, what would you put it down to?
Gratitude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I also do drink good quality water, eat organic foods, exercise.
We did a whole load of things, didn't we, a few weeks ago?
Oh, yeah. I do all sorts of.
We did a whole. Anyone is interested, we did a whole hour of Annie's health hacks. Absolutely amazing. So, look back on YouTube and you'll find it. It was, what was it, about 3-4 weeks ago? And it was absolutely.
Yeah, I think so, darling. Yeah. I may have overrun a couple of minutes.
Oh, Annie, I don't believe that.
How very odd, Jack. How very odd that I would go over the limit.
Well, you say age is just a number. I say that minutes on the show are just a number.
They are, aren't they, really? Yeah,
if we're having fun, we keep going.
Yeah, indeed. I've had a lovely bit of news. I think it was last Tuesday. I've got a 5-year-old grandson. And I was told before he was born that one of the reasons he'd incarnated on the planet, he wanted to access his paternal grandmother's spiritual gifts. And the
Okay.
lady who told me, I went, oh, that's me. She went, yeah, that's you.
Right.
So my little grandson and I find it very difficult to follow instructions and very hard to be compliant. So if you give me a rationale for why you want me to do something, I'll probably do it with good grace. But if you just tell me I've got to do it because I've got to do it, why have I got to do that? Why? So I've always told my little grandson to question everything. So he won, I think it was last Friday, he won Star of the Week for being able to follow instructions for a whole 5 days. And my son had to bribe him massively with going to Jurassic Park again to get him to do it. And he said, you'll understand better than anybody why he found it so difficult to be compliant and to follow instructions. So when they'd gone to parents' night, apparently they were saying how intelligent he is, how bright he is, but every time they ask him to do something, he goes, why do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
And I would want him to question everything, because it's got me this far.
Well, I was the same when I was a kid. They used to hate me at school. I was always asking questions, especially during religious education.
Oh, baby, indeed.
Because I none of that gelled with me. None of the stuff they taught me gelled with me.
Unsurprisingly, with who you are.
And I mean, I didn't know. I never learned to keep my gob shut. That's my fault. That's my one weakness in life. I never learned to keep my gob shut. And that was all the time. I was sticking my hand up and I was saying, if so and so and so and so, then why so and so?
Yeah.
It don't make any sense, sir.
No. And you know, that's why we've developed into the people that we have, because we did ask questions and we did ask why we were being forced to do something, or why we were being told that we had to do it a certain way, when actually our hearts and our minds and our souls were going, actually, no, I don't think so.
We had a different IE teacher every term.
Did you?
Because
why was that, Jack?
Well, they just didn't want to stay. And I can't imagine why.
Might that be because there were so many inquisitive, critical thinking little kids in the class going, but why? And how is that possible if this is true?
Well, there was only one of me. Everybody else was lapping it up. I was thinking, no, come on, this is crazy talk.
You know, and indeed it was.
I mean, I respect other people's beliefs, but I don't necessarily have to share them.
Indeed.
This guy died for my sins. You know, it's like saying he's going to eat your dinner for you. It's crazy. Okay, doesn't make any sense.
If I tell you that I was brought up as a Catholic, you'll understand why I am so not anywhere near that in my spirituality now. It was so, yeah, just horrible stuff. Horrible stuff.
And as I got a little bit older, still at school, but a little bit older, and I started reading for myself,
yeah,
and reading all about Egyptian mythology and all that.
Yeah,
and I'd say, but isn't that the story of Horus, sir?
And Easter,
be quiet!
Ishtar, Easter, the sex goddess.
Yeah.
The egg of fertility. Oh, no, it's two completely different stories. And as for the virgin birth, wasn't that Isis? Oh, no, it was nothing to do with Isis.
Isis and Horus, absolutely.
Yeah, I suppose our teachers did have a bit of a rough deal having us in their classes.
Yeah.
Going, why?
And since I've started, I mean, not when I was at school, obviously, but in the last 30 or 40 years, I started
Yeah, yeah.
studying Celtic mythology.
Yeah.
And you look at the story of Moses in his little coracle, whatever it was,
Yeah, yeah.
basket, cast down the river. And I'm thinking that's the story of Taliesin,
Yeah, it is.
isn't it?
It's just all recycled.
Keep telling the same story over and over again.
So, but it's ours, my precious. This story belongs to us Christians. No, it doesn't.
The Christmas story is the story of Mabon at Moljon,
Yeah.
the son of the mother, doesn't it? I mean, it just keeps going round and round.
Not like we're not capable of doing research or reading books. I used to learn a lot of this stuff. My grandparents had, do you remember Encyclopedia Britannica?
Yeah, they used to sell them.
Oh my God, they'd lose me and they'd go, come for your tea, come for your tea. I'm just going to read this, I'm just going to read this, and I'm just going to read this. But I remember Encyclopedia Britannica had all sorts of very cool information in that I absolutely adored. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to soak up information when I was younger.
Yeah.
Can't remember anything now, but
I bet you can.
I can remember the stuff I learned years ago.
Yeah.
I'm finding it very difficult to learn new stuff.
I just need to prescribe for you ginkgo biloba. It's really good for stimulating our circulation, because if we're not getting enough blood to our fingers, our toes and our brain, then we can't remember things. So ginkgo biloba has been used for thousands of years for helping with our circulation, but also with memory loss as well. So I'll get you some.
Okay, thanks.
When you're back in sunny Stafford, give me a bell and I'll drop you some in.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I'll be going back on, I don't know, Wednesday, I think.
Oh, I bet you want to stay longer, don't you, Jack?
I'd love to stay longer.
Yeah.
I'd love to stay for, yeah. But anyway, it's just what it is.
Absolutely.
But to be honest, Annie, I mean, I don't, nothing negative, but I won't be staying in Stafford for long.
Really?
I just don't feel it in Stafford. If that makes any sense to you.
Yeah.
So
where are you thinking of jipping off to? Have you got anywhere in mind?
I'm just waiting for the next opportunity.
Come on, universe.
Yep. In fact, I'm going to be doing a very special little ritual dawn tomorrow.
Right.
Up on the tour.
Yeah. Manifesting your new future.
To open myself up to wherever the universe wants to send me next.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, be okay.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. All in divine and perfect order. It is always all in divine and perfect order.
Yeah. I mean,
I wonder where your next sacred assignment is, Jack.
Oh, I don't know. But if I look back on my life, and this is no disrespect to any of the people I've known,
yeah,
it just looks like a series of assignments.
Yeah. Oh, same.
Yeah.
It does. I think I get sacred assignments and I get moved around all over the shop. And I mean, in the last 4 years, I've moved house 3 times. No, in the last 7 years, that's a lie, actually. In the last 7 years, I've moved house 3 times. But actually, I think this is my semi-permanent home. until the universe goes, what about this for an idea?
Well, I've always been a nomad all my life.
Really?
Yeah. Do you remember years ago, there was this really stupid American show called The Littlest Hobo?
Yeah. I remember that.
This dog that used to
television then. That was a long time ago.
This dog that used to have assignments, postings. Yes. He just used to wander off
to the next little bit.
and said he was adopted by this family that would take him in, and the family had problems.
Yeah, yeah,
And he'd always sort out their problems, and then he'd just walk off.
yeah,
Well, it's the way I've been all my life.
yeah. No, I can believe it, darling. I can believe it.
Well, always try to leave people better than I find them.
Oh, I think you do, massively. No, I think we both do. People have told me countless times over the last, well, especially the last 25 years, that just talking to me makes them feel better. That I just chatter their ears off and make them laugh about. I have got a really lovely sense of humour, can make people laugh. Even during the most darkest times, I can find something to, you know, some appropriate humour to help people. So, and not so appropriate. So changing the subject completely.
I think we ought to.
I went to the Rocky Horror Show on Saturday night at Stoke-on-Trent. Oh my Jack, it was so much fun. There's been 2 years that I haven't been to the Rocky Horror Show, and it's been during the pandemic for the last 2 years. But honestly, the community spirit there was absolutely astronomical.
Brilliant, yeah.
No masks, no jabs, no nonsense. So we all just turned up, dressed up in our sexy gear, and just laughed and sang all night. And it was absolutely wonderful. So I think we need more opportunities like that, darling.
I think we do, yeah. Just being happy, just laughing, just having fun.
Yeah. It's really important for our immunity system, and for every organ in our body loves us to be relaxed and happy. It's a really healing vibration, isn't it?
That's why being here, I find it so healing, because I don't know which causes which, but yeah, which came first. But the happiness and the healing, it all comes hand in
glove, isn't it? Hand in glove, darling.
Well, we've done our hour.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Let's not run over too much tonight, because I really want to get up to the tour and do my little bit.
Yeah. And do we need to tell people it's going to be me every week now?
Oh yes, Annie has very kindly agreed. Annie has very kindly had her arm bent.
Not really.
And she's agreed to be my regular co-host, because Paul Simon Smith can't do it. No, he's got his shop and he's very busy. So I'm absolutely excited that Annie's stepped up to the plate.
Yay!
So every Monday on this channel, which is the shortcut is zoomjack.uk for all the shows that I do, and that will then link you into the particular Zoom longer link that you So for the Monday and the Friday show, zoomjack.uk. I had a brilliant guy on last Friday, and if you missed that, then please do watch the
catch up on YouTube, can't we, darling?
Please do watch the replay on YouTube.
Perfect.
A guy called Steve Elpress, who studied with Mark Bayersky, who I interviewed a couple of weeks earlier than that.
Oh, the Moldavite man.
Yeah, pure energy healer.
Yeah.
But Steve has got this wonderful story of how he became enlightened. He worked as a pharmaceutical scientist for ICI.
Yeah.
And he just realized that something wasn't right. And over a period of years, he became a pure energy healer. So, yeah, that's a lovely, lovely story.
I shall have a look at it.
So, see you all again next week. Thanks, Annie.
Thank you to you, Jack. Thank you for this great opportunity. Namaste, and have a wonderful evening in Glastonbury.
Wishing everybody a very, very merry solstice.
Yeah, indeedy.
Blessed be everybody.
Blessed be. Bye-bye.